Hey, what's up everybody, Bueller here again. I don't know why I have ATVI on the chart. Let's go to Roblox. Roblox is the topic today. So I'm going to start all this over. I actually just started charting it again for a friend that I was streaming to. But Roblox is one that I've been talking about for a couple weeks now. We've been wanting it to cascade down. A while back we were saying above 89 it flies, below 82 it dies. Price ended up rejecting 89, about 90s right there. Ended up taking down a little bit lower, and now you can see price retraced back up to 83 and is retraced even lower, but has not taken out another low yet at a very crucial spot. So I'm going to break all this down real quick. So using the TA routine, let's start on the weekly time frame. Let's get a low marked, so we have the bottom of our range, and get a high marked, so we have the top of our range. So we can mark everything in between. And if it was a bit wider than that, I'd probably just grab another candle so I can make this range a little tighter, you know, kind of grabbing right here. But since that's around a crucial area, I want to get all that broken down on the daily time frame. So I'm going to mark this, which you don't always have to mark that one. Just because it's the first candle, you know, it's probably not going to have as much importance over time. Not always will it. I'm going to mark this one just because this does have importance since it closed over. I like that. Got the tiny bit of the gap range. Let's mark that level, this level. And then I'm going to get a couple of control points. And what I mean by a control point is a 50% of an area. So an area I'm going to be looking for is between this areas. You can see there's a very wide range in here. And yeah, I could just grab this support right here. But I want to see what the 50% is of this breakout when price initially broke out to this. And it's going to line up about where I was wanting to mark that line. Initially, I wanted to mark it about right here, but that actually gave me a better spot just going off of that. So I'm going to leave that there. If you want to mark this line, you can. It's a definite good support. I just don't like marking areas that were gapped down to, because technically, if you look at this, price didn't start here. Price was gapped down to here, and then it moved up. So I don't see those as strong levels as if you just grab from the left side control points or an emerging candle. It's just not as strong from what I've seen in my experience. So as you can see, price is stuck inside of this tinier range. So of course, this is going to be where you want to focus for the bigger move, about right there. But let's see trend lines now. So I want to go to the 4 hour. Let's break it down to the 4 hour. Why I go to the 4 hours? Because the daily won't give you the entire picture. So I go down to the hourly, like my friend J-Bake always says, or the 4 hour. 4 hour is pretty good for this scenario. And I'm going to grab from two good areas. So you never want to rely on current price. So you're going to ignore just today. You want to grab at least 2 to 3 points on a resistance and at least 2 to 3 points on a support. And as you can see, we have a falling wedge pattern into this area of consolidation. So now we have a lot more information going for us. So confirmation that this moves up is over this midpoint at 79.50s. This can be an initial entry point. After that initial entry point, you have the confirmed bigger entry point, in which above 82.40s, 82.50s, you can expect a bigger, larger move to be looked at. So what are the targets after this exits here? Your main targets are going to be your shoulders that are within inside this trend before the trend change occurs. So your two main targets are going to be way up here, but we're not going to do that. We're going to also grab this midpoint from this green candle, like I said before on the ranges. And now we have extra targets. So now we have an 86 target and 89. Instead of just saying this is going up $10, $5 at once, now we're giving it a little bit more of a chance of legit targets. We're not just saying it's going to fly and hit $10 up tomorrow. Okay, because there is no say so that this is just going up and doing this all in one day. No one's saying that. There's a few scenarios I should say, when playing a trend change or a falling wedge pattern like this. One scenario is price just ends up flying. Parabolically just goes up, okay? That's a very rare scenario, but it's also one that happens and you've been prepared looking at this. So second scenario, price goes up and then retraces onto a point or range trades even, and then continues its move in a more healthy 50% control point type manner. There's also a scenario where price just exits to the right out of its trend change. So say the trend change is going down, you have price going to the right. That is how it would slow down, and whether it chooses to go down and double bottom or create a higher low from the current low inside of the trend change, that is what you look at for a continued move up. So that one is a slower, more retraced move, very healthy, just as healthy as this one, if not more. This would not be as healthy because it is just continued move up, so you'd have to expect a pretty just as harsh retracement after that move up. A very good seller reaction, really. Fourth scenario, price just ends up coming out after it drops out of that trend change and just drops and ends up going down and doesn't just hold as a double bottom but creates a new low. This is the scenario that ends that trend change and continues as a downtrend. That would entirely deconfirm everything up to that point. So then you'd have to start over basically. You're back to square one. But those are the 4 scenarios when talking about a trend change and how we look at things here. Big pattern traders here, of course, we don't want to trade the first pattern that pops up. I don't want to trade the first piercing line that pops up. Of course, a better spot for a good bullish engulfing. As you can see, both of them led to good moves up. On this next move here, we have a type A Morningstar look to it. Not all the way Morningstar, but looks a lot better. So, of course, we want to see a push up. So we're looking for a more passive confirmation over 79.50 for an initial entry, and then bigger entry above 82.50s. So if anybody wants to check that out, these are the levels. Please leave them set. For a move down, of course, I'm not biased. No one here is going to be biased. We're going to plan for both sides. Let's say price ends up closing or breaking under this low right here. That is when you would start playing for puts. When it gets under that gap level support that was used here at 75.70s, this is where you would play for a further move down to 72s before earnings in the middle of next month. So with all that said, there's the Roblox plan. I hope you enjoy it. Please leave a like and comment on the video, and if you guys want more of these, let me know.